Now, the walls themselves were built in 1613. This era became known as the Plantation of Ulster. So the Plantation of Ulster began around 1609. And Ulster as a province, the 9-county province, was the last part of Ireland to come under English rule. So essentially the English were here in Ireland from the 12th century, and it takes them to the 17th century to get into this part. So we essentially kept them out for around 500 years. Once they get into the province of Ulster, they clear the lands of native Irish and replant it. That's why they call it the plantation. Or repopulate it with English and Scottish Protestants. So you had to be English speaking and Protestant to be part of the plantation. So this city of Derry, the walled city I should say, was built in 1613 as an English city. So that means no Scots. So the English and the Scots, although they come over for the same purpose, they didn't get on. And this was an English plantation town. On the other side of the walls, on the far side, you have the Fountain Estate, which would have been a Scots Presbyterian living area. And of course, that's outside of the walls, because the Scots weren't allowed inside. So the only one that were allowed inside was English people inside the walls originally. So the walls themselves took 5 years to construct, as did St Columb's Cathedral as well. That was built between 1628 and 1633. And in Ireland or Britain, St Columb's Cathedral became the first Protestant cathedral to be built since Henry VIII. So if we fast forward basically to the 1840s, 1845 was the Potato Blight. So what we're looking at is St Eugene's Cathedral. St Eugene's Cathedral wasn't built until the late 1890s. Right up to 1829 in Ireland, it was illegal to be Irish and Catholic. And that was from early 1700 right up until 1829. It was called the Catholic Emancipation Act. Once it is legal to be Irish, then they start collecting funds to erect churches. And in 1838, they start raising funds for St Eugene's Cathedral. But by 1845, the Potato Blight strikes Ireland, and the funds have to be redirected from that to the people who are coming into the city, are essentially refugees. So the Potato Blight was known as the famine up until a while back. It stopped being used, the term famine, because it leads people to believe that what happened in Ireland was a natural disaster, as where it was actually a British-made or English-made disaster.